one is just do the job. Comes down to just do the job. Don't, if you're overthinking it, then you're thinking about yourself. You're anxious because you have something to prove. Don't prove anything, just do the job.
I feel at World 2019, we're in Barcelona and I'm with Heath.
Yes.
Master of Copywriting and actually Improv?
Yes. Yeah, that's how I fell into copywriting. And so I do improv comedy. Been doing it for about 10 years, also teaching it in Arizona.
Wow.
And so that's how I've kind of developed my strange method for copywriting is through improv.
That sounds good. I want to feel what you do. Teach me some improv first, and then we'll move to copywriting.
Okay, first. Okay, perfect. Let's do an improv game. So this is a fun interview game. Let's say everything you have to say has to start with yes and. Yes. Well, okay. So now I'll do an interview with you. So you're going to be a professional. What do you want to be a professional at? Anything at all?
A stripper.
A stripper.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to interview you. And then all you have to say is yes and then you talk about the stripping, and then I say yes and we just and then you add to it. So you say yes, you agree with what I'm saying, and then you add to it.
Yeah,
so I'll practice. So okay. I hear you're the best stripper around.
Yes, and I can do more than that. How about that?
I think that's great. I heard you could do a lot more than that. I heard that you're also a great person in the kitchen, a great chef.
Yes, and I can also strip in the kitchen.
Yes, I heard that you have been able to bring lots of crowds. All the chefs also love what you do. And you've opened up many restaurants with your unique method of strip cooking.
Yes, and there is more. I can strip, cook, and serve cocktails at the same time. And that's what I can also teach you if you would like to work with us.
A nice marketing move to give me a call to action. That's basically it. So it's saying yes to the situation of what is presented, to the idea, and you move forward with it without hesitation. A lot of it is no hesitation, but when it comes to copywriting, there is a lot of hesitation. There tends to be a lot of start and stop, get up, go to the kitchen, because it comes down to, even everyone that argues that it shouldn't be creative, there's still some creativity. You're still digging deep to find some really cool, interesting facts, angles, and so it takes some mental effort. So in using improv, you don't say no, you just keep moving forward.
So when I'm not stripping in the kitchen, how would I get into the right moods then? How would I prep myself if I want to be as creative as you and you're not copy?
What I do is I take a product and then I look at the avatar, the people that use the product, and I put them in a situation where they have to use the product. So I think of scenes that they would do. Okay. What would they do? Why would they need this product? And I would kind of start playing it out in my head. That's how usually improv works on the stage. Is where would it go? If there was this product at hand, it's not about the product ever, it's about what they're going through. Right. And this product is part of it, this product solves. But I always try to picture what are they going through, what's the relationship, what's going to happen, and I think that's where you start to really dig deep to some interesting emotions. And also it just starts to bring up other angles you can explore.
Okay, well that's cool. Okay, so I'm just wondering how you do that. So let's say I have a client, right? It's some direct-to-consumer brand, right? And they approach me for Facebook marketing, right? Which might happen or not. For some reason or not, I'm in charge of copywriting. So I understand what the product is about, I understand the personas, or trying to understand the persona, right? I get in the mood, and then what happens? You have a brainstorming with yourself, you note it all down, you cross it out, you come up with 5 or 500 headlines that you test. What's your process?
So what would be the product in this situation?
Let's say the product is a camera.
A camera, great. So what I would do is, how I map it out is I start to just write everything about the camera. I just start writing it out, everything about the camera. What does it look like? What is it? What are the features? I just write down all the features so I can just understand it. And then it's almost like you bring it to life in a sense. It sounds really strange, but it's what we do in improv. So you start to bring it to life, meaning what does it represent? What does it do? Why do people use it? And that gets to more core. So it's not about taking a picture, it's about what that picture represents. Why do someone take a picture?
Okay.
So then you just kind of go deeper. It's almost like, there's a great saying from a really funny improviser and comedian. There's the about, and then there's the about. So the about is about like what the main plot.
Right.
Main plot is the surface, but what does it really mean underneath?
Yeah.
And that's the really interesting aspect.
I know that as the benefit of the benefit, right?
Right.
It's just maybe not exactly the same, but
Right.
it goes toward the same direction. So you just keep asking why, right?
Right. And so I would just write it all down, read about it. I would do like some research, look into it, and then I would just start writing. Just kind of like, almost like, write like a short story based, has nothing to necessarily do with the camera, but the camera is involved.
Okay.
And so then I would just kind of like write, just kind of get things out of my head to see where it goes. And then I would start to, once I have that, then I would kind of branch off to different angles and do research.
All right. Cool.
It's a weird methodology, and I would never teach it. It's a never teach. It's too, because also, again, this isn't me. Listen, there's amazing copywriters out there, and I know plenty of them, and they're crushing, and they're great at what they do. And a lot of them have amazing methods to how they start. They start with research, and they are so good at mapping that research, the next step, and they're crushing it. They're doing really, really well. Mine's a bit messy, mine's a bit out there, because again, I come from a different background, and I just wanted to apply what I've learned in my background with the fun and what I've done in improv, apply that to copy.
Cool.
And so far, it's worked out really, really well.
So from your experience then, and you have plenty, what are like the main learnings that you can take from that? If you had like 3 things to share that people have to really be on top of to write excellent copy, what would those 3 tips be?
I would say one is just do the job. Comes down to just do the job. If you're overthinking it, then you're thinking about yourself. You're anxious because you have something to prove. Don't prove anything, just do the job.
Okay.
So when I say do the job, prove that you're not good. And when I say prove that you're not good is put everything on the page. Get all the things out of there. Have fun. I would say if you're having fun writing, then the person who's going to read it is going to have fun.
Okay, cool.
If you're bored while writing it, the person who's going to read it is going to be bored.
All right.
Okay, so think of it in that aspect. Number 2 would be look for the positivity and look for the things that find an idea that you found interesting and follow it.
Okay.
Follow that idea.
All right. Okay.
So follow an idea and just go with that one idea. A lot of times people like to do too many ideas in copy, and it becomes overwhelming. Just follow one and see where it goes.
All right. That's interesting, because when we do testing, let's say creative testing or ad copy testing, we try to come up with as many angles as possible, right? An angle referring to what you call an idea, I guess, right? But then we probably limit the amount of ideas that we have within that idea to a smaller number. I guess what you're saying is focus on one first and go deeper on that one.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point too, because when it comes to the testing, I still will always come up with many, many things out there. Okay, let me back up a little bit when it comes to the one idea. When I think of one idea, it's like if I'm putting together a sales page, don't put everything in the farm in that sales page to get them to believe it, right? So it's like if this one product, don't have it cure everything about it. Stick to the one thing that makes it very unique, and the one thing that stands out, that makes it stand out. So you heighten that product to a level that is unique, it's clean, it's simple, and people aren't confused by it.
Right.
But because I've had duds in the past where I put way too much in there.
Yeah.
Way too much, and then it was too confusing. No one's gonna believe it, or they don't care. It's too many belief loopholes to jump through to get them to, or not loopholes, hoops to jump through to get them to take action. It's unnecessary.
That's true. Short copy or long copy? Yeah.
I love long copy. And we'll back up. Long copy that is engaging.
Yes, of course.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
When I say engaging, I think long copy that's fun to read.
Yeah.
And when I say fun to read, it has fun language. It's a little silly maybe.
Okay.
It depends on the audience and the sophistication. but I think it has something that it catches the eye. It's fun to read.
Yeah,
It's still fun to read. I treat there shouldn't be a difference between copy and writing. I think good writing is good writing. And what makes you pick up a book and read it if it's fun?
Yes.
If it's fun and engaging.
That's one of the reasons, yeah. But
Or I guess
definitely-
if you want to be educated,
Yeah, that's true.
it's still engaging though.
Yeah,
There's still a way to be engaged. I mean, how many times have you put down a book because you're bored?
So writing good copy and your weird process, I love it. Thank
It's
you so
weird,
much.
yeah, thank you.